Yo, what's good, everyone? Fire here, back from the video, and today we're going to be hopping into another Madden 24 gameplay. Today we're going to be running the gun bunch strong offset, which comes to us out of the New York Jets offensive playbook. This is going to be one of your better offenses in the game. You can combine it in that Jets playbook with the other really good formations in it. We have a New York Jets ebook that I posted earlier in the year, which does not include this formation, but you guys can definitely check that out if you have not. But we have our audibles of corner strike, wide trail. We have this RPO, and then it's one other play. I didn't quite see it, but we got starting out with this RPO. You also have a little crack toss play. So we have a lot to work with. Flood is going to be your other audible. But yeah, so running the ball is going to be a big part of this offense. You want to try and run. If there's a lot of space, you can take advantage of it. But we're going to go corner strike here because this is also one of our better plays. Just going to kind of run it stock here with the flat, with the corner out. Boom, we hit Jamar Chase over the top. Boom, juke move, and off to the races. We hit him with that Jurtle right as he clicks onto Derwin James, taking that to the crib. Little celebration somersault into the end zone. And that is how you go on a first drive, first pass play in the end zone right there. Beautiful pass, and then just some nice stick work to avoid a few people in our way. So overall, just a really good start, and that is how you can take advantage of this offense. And again, that was really only a feel out. Anytime you can score on one play on that, on your first drive, it's always going to be beneficial because you don't have to show any of your crazy plays or things of that nature. Whereas if you go on a 15-play drive, you're showing a lot of your hands, what you want to do, some of your money plays, some of your big third or fourth down plays that you're like, hey, I need to run this setup. I can't hide it anymore because I need to pick up a first down. Whereas when you score on two plays the way we did there, I didn't have to show them anything. I ran stock corner strike, and we put it in the end zone. So really good start there. Now, defensively, we're going to be running this Kansas City Chiefs defensive playbook. You guys have seen it before. I've been running it very much so recently, and it has been very good for me. So we're going to continue running that. We have a few videos on that. It is going to be the one with cover 4 quarters in it. I think it may be Jalen Ramsey on the thumbnail. Then we have another one, I think, with Hutch on the thumbnail. So make sure you guys check those out. Basic coach adjustments are match on, flats on 30. We have baseline on. We have play the ball on. As you see, some of my worst stick work ever. Quite literally, I thought he was really going to cut it back, but he didn't, and he actually cribs us on the first play. So everything I was talking about in, making someone take a long drive to start out the game, your boy really just was some terrible stick work, and that is what happens when you're not playing this game every day. You try and hop back on, and boom, you're a little bit rusty. So immediately there, Cam Taylor-Britt really should have tackled him. I pressed A, and then boom, I go for the dive tackle. Maybe I should have just went with the X dive or square, whatever. But we end up giving him a touchdown there, just gift wrapped it. Obviously started out with pretty bad stick work just from the linebacker position, but this Bengals defense is really not going to be too great, honestly. No real great pass rush besides you have Hubbard, you have Hutchinson, which aren't bad. Actually, DJ Reader. Our D-line is decent. None of those guys really have X factors or crazy, which you don't really need X factors running that shed D, but the user is pretty slow. Your options are Wilson or Jermaine Pratt. And then not the greatest coverage corners. A few decent, like Chidobe Awuzie is not bad, but overall, you would like a little bit better. But once again, we get to go back on offense. So, hey, I mean, the more time on offense, the better, because this is an offensive gameplay. So if we can be on offense longer, it's just going to work into our hand. So we have this crack toss as our kind of other run option. So we're going to try and get that there. We run it. Not the greatest blocks. We pick up a few yards. Maybe if I could have cut that back against Kenneth Murray, it could have been a little bit better. But, I mean, it doesn't hurt to show him that. Make him respect the outside run. And we're going to go looking right back to this. Now, we could have easily ran the ball there, but, I mean, just look at how much space we have with Jamar Chase on that left-hand side. If there is only one cornerback out there, you saw it's like the D lineman kind of on the tight end, and then there's one corner out there, feel free to throw that pass very consistently. Even if there is a slot corner, that pass can still be open. Like in this case, you see kind of Derwin James in that slot corner spot. This looks like a big nickel over G type of look, or nickel over. You can feel free to do that. Here we're going to go to flood. Very simple setup. We're just going to go with RB on a zig, Y on a little out route to the left. He's open. We're just going to check it down. Boom. Nice truck there by Mixon. And again, just making easy stuff. Like if you guys see your first read open, which should usually be like the flats with the tight end or the running back route, things like that, just take it, because then he's going to start doing what he's going to start playing very underneath with his defense, and he is going to overall kind of cost himself. So here we're going with this little play with a little tight end wheel route. This setup was not great, honestly, as it's man coverage. So we're just going to almost run a little rub route there with Jonnu Smith. Hit him there. And that was the dagger play, which I don't really go back to a whole lot, but we were just kind of trying out some new stuff against this guy, and that was man coverage. Typically that setup wouldn't really work against man coverage, but we almost ran like an OPI pick play type of a look to where it actually ended up working out. So here we go back to the toss. We do cut it back in, but not enough speed to get away from Khalil Mack. That was a really good play by him. He got the outside leverage. He really forced us back inside, and then he actually had enough speed and range to tackle us, although you can kind of see the big play potential with that play because of how much space we have. Now this is wide trail. All I do here is simple out route with the running back. That's a good little quick snap setup because you're only making one hot route and you can snap the ball. We go hurry up here after getting stuck at the one, just hit chase on that little drag. We're going to hand it off to Joe Mixon. Try and journal. You see we're journaling a lot. It's one of those things you have to use. I would say make sure you're not on aggressive, though, because I have fumbled recently being on aggressive ball carrier and spamming journals. It doesn't matter if the guy you journal into has 50 hit power. Sometimes you'll fumble, but at the 1 yard line, we're going to go aggressive. We're going to go fullback dive. Again, ball carrier aggressive. We figure we can just punch this in with Sam Hubbard, and that's actually really good defense by him. Maybe this guy's elite red zone D, as I figured having a DN in that spot would get in, but we just go power O here, and boom, look at that. Joe Mixon could not get a single yard of fight on Kenneth Murray. Now, I didn't have enough time to like truck or stiff arm or do anything like that, but you guys remember I was on ball carrier aggressive, and the fact that I could not get a singular yard is just a little bit confusing. Like, if I'm on aggressive, I think he should fight for at least a yard after contact, especially when I'm running the risk of fumbling. But obviously 4th and 1, we're going to go for this and just try and punch it in one more time. Again, he's setting up really heavy kind of fullback dive defense. So we're just going to go QB sneak here with Browning. Boom, he's going to punch it in, and that's a good second drive. Now, we did have to work for it a little bit more, but again, I didn't really show him nothing crazy. If you remember, just the completed passes, a little check down to Mixon, little drag route with Jamar Chase. Again, nothing really deep over the top. We didn't really even throw any corner routes on that drive. No crossers, no big backside posts. So again, he still hasn't really even seen any of this offense. We threw a little wheel route to Jonnu Smith, which is almost just like a flat route check down. So again, despite that being more plays, we didn't show much. We really just showed the run game, little RPO throw, which again, that's something that he's going to have to worry about all game because that pass is beyond annoying to defend, that little RPO. And look at this. Big time little tackle there from Trenton Irwin. We made up for a bad tackling on that last drive by actually making a good tackle there, or at least making him stumble. Otherwise, that was going to be 6 points. So, definitely happy about that. See if we can get a stop here because we got the ball first. We don't want to be in a situation where it's tied at half. And it does look like this guy's game plan is going to be heavy run. You see he tries the stretch there with Eckler. Not much doing. We are able to kind of defend that. Obviously, we want to get him out of this run game. And honest, because the strength of his defense is getting people to pass under center. Now, he really got me on that play action, I'm not going to lie, because usually people will cancel the play action, but because he let it ride, I really thought that was a run, and we were playing pretty aggressive run defense because I was like, okay, I'm just going to hop on the safety, get us some extra help. And boom, now he's going to go back to stretch. We force him back inside, wrap up a tackle. Again, if you can hold him to these 3 or 4 yard runs, you're sitting good with your run defense, because think about it, a lot of people aren't willing to sit there and run the ball for 3 or 4 yards at a time. Now you'll find sometimes those like elite competitive pro players that will run the ball, they're willing to take those 3 or 4 yard gains, but the average player typically is not going to do it. It's really boring if you're like running the ball for that little amount, and so people aren't seeing results. They're going to switch, they're going to pass, assuming they're not like trying that hard. Like there's not money on the line. So But here he's going to a little near pro. I see him trying to go to the angle route. Boom. We play it a little bit later, but we make the tackle. Hold him to a 4th down. And again, you got to watch the clock here because we're almost at the 2-minute warning. So got to start thinking about when I'm going to use my timeouts. We kind of play a very aggressive style. Keenan Allen was manned up on that play. If that was a quarter, I don't think he would have played that. But because he was manned up, I was playing aggressive. I just manned him up. I was using that inside quarter, and then pretty much we had the quarter flat over there just in case there was like a drag route coming from right to left in that case. But boom, 1st down. I'm going to go right back to it. Again, there's 2 players over there, so we're going to go over there. One of the weirder tackling sequences, you see Joe Burrow still perfect, by the way, 7 for 7. But yeah, if there's only one corner in the safety over there, you can just run that play every time. Now, again, be careful about his user because you can kind of jump that play. Specifically because the blockers get sewed out in front. So be careful. If someone has a good user, then you could throw a pick. So you just watch the user. Obviously, if the user is chasing the receiver over there, no pun intended, then just hand the ball off because we have space in the run game. I'm just not going to it. Here we're going to go back to corner strike, which is one of your better plays. I like motioning over this receiver to kind of open up your C route. We have an out to the left, drag from the tight end. And this is just a good concept. I also like running this more on the short side. You see, we have A or B. I probably could have hit B, but again, play it safe. Take our check down. You have a clean pocket, and that's a good play. He was in cover 2. The C route definitely would have been open over there on the wide side. Whereas on the short side, it's a little bit of a tougher throw timing-wise. Now this is going to be kind of your 4 verticals plays. I believe it's called Durham. Now out of this play, you can do a few things. Again, I like using these wheel routes with the running back. So we're going to go to that. It's manned up. We try and hit the tight end. We actually get sacked there. He sent the blitz. I probably had the in route or the tight end. Now, one thing I wish about that play was different is that RB was on like his deeper crosser, which he's not. So that's just a bit unfortunate. But here we're going to go back to the wide trail. We go with a little out route with Chase. We keep the running back blocked for some extra time. And again, if your first read is open, just hit him. Kind of took an unnecessary hit there, but our first read was the out route. We have a lot of space, especially because it wasn't 3rd and long. It was 2nd and long. I would have been willing to cut that to like a 3rd and 10. So we hit him. He actually misses the tackle, and that's going to set us up for 3rd and 2. I think I accidentally had shoe clock on. Not my smartest play, but we again see that he's sending pressure, so we're going to block our running back, and boom. All we have is a little out route, drag, corner route concept. Very simple. And again, with him not really using, we're able to hit that drag fairly easily, and Joe Burrow, once again, still at 100% completion. Perfect game, question mark? Could be in store. Now, again, we're going to go to wide trail here. This is a concept I like. Just a lot of man beaters because he's running so much man. So we have post, we have zig, we have corner out. You see RB and X both wide open. Dealer's choice at that point. I'm going to go to Chase, and that is easy money for the touchdown. But you saw RB was wide open. The zig probably would have been wide open. That play might be a little bit better if you let him get set because kind of motion snapping, not the greatest thing against man just because of how slow it's going to take him to get off the line. But then we also had an angle route that would have been open, so that would be one of your better plays against man coverage, especially you have extra protection. You could throw, mix it on an out route to the right if you wanted to, if he was just running like cover 1 or something where he's not sending pressure with his man coverage. That would be kind of a smart thing to do. But again, 21-7, we're in a pretty good spot here. Even if he somehow scores before the half, he gets the ball at half. We're still up by a touchdown, so we're still sitting good. And again, he has really showed no signs of stopping us in the passing game. We're still perfect. Here he goes to like a single back spread, which is interesting. Typically, not the move ever passing out of under center against this 4-3 even 6-1. He burns a timeout, I think, unless that was me. But yeah, I would assume it was him. But yeah, passing out of under center against 4-3 even 6-1 is something you just can't do because you see how fast the disengages get there. Here, he blocks his running back, which is the reason that it picks him up. But even then, sometimes the running back won't block him. But he blocks the running back. It actually stops one of our disengages. He hits Keenan on a nice little zig route, so I'll credit to him. Now, what I was saying is spread is actually one of your better bets against boom. Very quick pressure again. He had Eckler blocking on that play. But yeah, spread is one of your better concepts against 4-3, even 6-1 offensively. Especially if you're hitting simple things like out routes, it makes it really a pain because those linebackers are so far inside that something like an out route with Eckler would be really easy. It's a really easy way to pick this up. We're going to send pressure, really fourth down. You guys know I like sending pressure. I'm an aggressive guy. We get a disengage. It actually gets picked up, and the offensive line for him holds up just long enough to actually hit that corner out with Eckler. I thought we were going to get the disengage there. It didn't happen. So, a little nice blocking by him. We'll see if that's going to happen consistently. But, again, something like 5 wide, pretty annoying. You see I canceled the baseline just to get Luke Wilson kind of out there a little bit more so that he can't just kind of spam like an out route. Boom, he throws it right at Mike Hilton. I don't know what he was looking for there, but we're going to showboat a little bit. Jurtle, boom, just messing around. Obviously, we kind of wanted to not score on that just so we could go back on offense, show a little bit more of the offense because that is kind of what we're doing. I didn't realize they had a strong close in that formation. I kind of got a little distracted. But, yeah, so we have 28 seconds. We have 2 timeouts, plenty of time here. We're going to go with a little concept where we motion out, mix into the opposite side here. This is a really good play, in my opinion. Having him on this wheel route. And actually take a look at Mixon. Boom. Burns him right down the sideline. Nobody is going to catch him. That was a really good concept against something like a cover 2, which it was there. Obviously, we probably have the corner out on the left eventually as well. But obviously, you're giving away that you're not running the ball there. But this was kind of a pass-heavy situation, so I don't mind doing that motion. Obviously, if it's a good player, maybe they send pressure once they see you motion out. So be careful. But the nice thing about this formation is that, of course, you can block your tight end if needed. So I could run that play maybe out of like corner strike. I could block the tight end, still have the corner out on the left, whatever route I want, maybe a streak. And then I could even throw Mixon on like a drag. You could mix it up in a few different ways. But 28-7, this game's getting pretty out of hand. Now again, he does get ball at half, but boom, gets laid out there. Obviously, we just do what we do here. Don't really give up a touchdown. We're sitting in a good spot. Now, he is staying in the single back spread, so we're going to continue to just run this disengaged defense at him. See if we can get these quick pressures. Nothing really doing there, and he does get enough time. That's a good pass there. Maybe with the safety, I'm able to make a play on that, but Jermaine Pratt had absolutely zero change of direction, so clearly wasn't able to make the play there. But again, 14 seconds, I could really care less about giving up a field goal. He goes wide receiver screen. Never a good play in Madden. And he actually just takes that to the half. Or I guess he was out of timeout, so my boy was cooked. Not much doing there. And yeah, we go into half up by 21 points. Definitely could not complain about that. So, but yeah, very dominant offense. You can see how this offense can get creative. And again, we're not even doing really what you should be doing with this offense, which is kind of mixing it in with the traditional gun bunch. And then you also have like trips and bunch tight end to mix in every once in a while. But if you're able to really flip between those, what I would do is I would come out and bunch every play, and then I would audible to this bunch offset or whatever you want. It just makes it so annoying. Now I know it is also annoying from an offensive perspective to be like audibling that much every play, but if you really wanted to be an elite player, that's something you could do. Now it's clearly not something I have to do against this guy. He's not the greatest player in the world, but it is something that you can kind of do if you're playing some real competition. So coming back out in single back ace, this cover 4 has not failed us since that first play of the game, which is really just tackling air. You can't blame the defense there. He goes back to the stretch, and kind of at this point, I'm like, all right, if you're going to run the ball, feel free. I would give you 5 yards on every run play, because at that point, you're taking up a whole quarter, and we're still up by 2 possessions, and you haven't stopped us or came close. We're going to run a little man blitz here. He goes play action. The blocks do hold up, and that is actually a really nice pitch and catch on the comeback route. He literally blocked everybody on the field, though, almost, so I'd hope he'd have enough time to complete it. But nice pass by him. out of that single back ace, which is actually kind of a good formation if you're in like run and gun playbook, or one of those weird playbooks has a good single back ace. I was kind of looking at it the other day, but it's just not comp. Another great tackle from me. Just good open field work there. You see, last time he didn't cut it back. This time he does. So obviously I was kind of expecting him not to cut it back, but it's the way she goes, isn't it? So again, I like to just run a pretty healthy mix between the cover 4 and the man coverage. The pressure gets there, forces a little bit of a bad throw. Wasn't much doing on that anyway. He's going back to this near pro. I think he may be in West Coast offense. Don't quote me on that, but West Coast typically the one that has all these near flex close, the far tight slot, those weird formations, near pro, whatever. Again, he's looking at this little angle route with Eckler. We were all over it, and again, we get the pressure. So really, you have to block the running back if you're passing out of under center. You just have to. It's not something that you can decide between. It's just kind of, yeah, I have to do this. So again, I'm canceling the baseline when he goes to 5 wide. Simple reason, because I need those linebackers out there to defend those little flats or whatever. He maybe has Keenan Allen there. It would have been a tight throw. But again, we get pressure because he blocks nobody. And this is just how you have to deal. It's very annoying. But you just have to get the ball out quickly. And also, you have to have better pocket presence than that. You can't just stand tall in the pocket. Honestly, if I'm facing this, I have to step back. Like, I know it kind of looks, almost like you're playing like a bot, but it's something you have to. Here he goes, wide receiver screen. Beautiful tackle from the CPU. Obviously, my tackle wasn't much better, but I was expecting Chidobe Awuzie to, tackle the guy who was about 2 inches from him. But again, he had business plans and he just decided to do nothing. So that's pretty cool. He's going to go to the ground here. Not much doing on the ground again since that touchdown. He hasn't done a whole lot, so we're willing to let him run the ball. I'd like to get this closer to the end of the quarter if we're going to give up a touchdown here, but again, I feel like he hasn't done much. Going with a wide receiver, and how did he catch that pass? Going with a wide receiver screen on 4th and 15, I actually respect it. Took some stones to call that, but that I thought should have been a pick. Keenan Allen hangs on. He does have abilities, so I can't be too mad about him actually, catching the ball and holding on to it. He goes screen again. We do make the tackle this time. Again, as long as the clock's running, I'm fine doing this. We have a big lead, so really just the goal was to not give up anything quick. And then obviously we could play kind of how we want. He goes to the ground. We were using the safety here, so we make another tackle. It still isn't a first down, which is really good. Just keep that clock moving. We only have one more play in this quarter at this point. This guy showed really no urgency. Now, here, obvious run play. We kind of try and get down with the safety. The outside linebackers do not play these runs great. Something I've noticed. And he goes hurry up. Pretty smart to try and get this play off before the quarter. He runs stretch. I did run commit. And what was Cam Taylor-Britt doing? You saw he was in position, and then he kind of stopped without me clicking on. Obviously, I tried to click on after the fact and actually make the tackle. But the fact that he didn't do anything, not my favorite. That guy has not had a good game, but maybe it's because I'm playing him out of position. I don't know. The safety options weren't great for Cincinnati, so I figured let's throw a corner there with some speed. Maybe I just have to user him. He goes stretch again. 23, Hill plays that like an idiot as well. And you can have it. I mean, it's 2 possessions is 2 possessions. I don't know that you'll touch the ball 2 more times, let alone have enough time to score twice without me just putting up an easy touchdown right here. So you can take your 2-point conversions. I don't know what the statistics are behind that decision, but some people are weird in this game. I really dislike the people that go for 2. Dude, just play the game. It's really weird to go for 2 in my opinion, but to each their own. I guess if you have a really good play, do it. That guy just ran stretch. So again, we run the screen. It's open. Again, you guys, I could run this play every single time, but it gets a little bit boring. It is open on every play, though. I want you guys to understand that. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and run the RPO alert screen every single play, but I want you guys to kind of see how it's open every single play against this style of defense that he's running. Here, this looks like a 3-4 odd look. Very interesting. Definitely something we want to pass on. Boom, we had T on a little flat there. That was out of White Trail, I believe. And, fumbles. I think I might still have been on aggressive, so I can't get too mad about that. Hopefully I switch out of aggressive. I don't. Genius. Unless I switched out of aggressive right after I scored the touchdown, which I don't believe I did, because you guys will... Or I just played a game like last night where the exact same thing happened. So, here we go to the toss. This can sometimes happen on the toss, which is why it's a very risky play to run. It's not something I'll do a whole lot. You can have these big losses. You can have big gains, but it's far and in between. So be mindful. Here we go with a little streak, trying to open up B. I'm just going to check it down to Jonnu Smith. I know it's 3rd down, but he's open. Again, you can't take a sack there. It's going to be 4th and 16 or 17. So again, I'm still taking my first read, and I'm going to the exact same play, and I'm just going to hit him again. Boom, he's wide open. So you have a cloud flat out there. He's going to run very swiftly underneath the cloud flat because he's on like a shorter out route almost. And here's where you can maybe try and take him over the top with Jonnu Smith if we get enough time. Again, going back to the same setup that we ran earlier, I do go out route instead of zig. And there it is. Jonnu Smith does get wide open. I drilled unnecessarily. I didn't expect him to actually play his defense that way. But take a look at Joe Burrow. Guess who is still perfect? And I'm still going no huddle here, running up the score. We go RPO here. Chase, can you beat him one-on-one? He can't. Picks up 2. Not the worst in the world. Center's a little bit tired because I went no huddle. But who cares? This guy hasn't really sent pressure. He's really just sat in 4-man rush coverage defense. So there hasn't been a threat of pressure really all game besides that 1 sack that he got. So here we're trying to drop a creative play, looking for maybe Jonnu Smith on this out route. We have a few other options like this backside dig with Jamar. We do block the running back because these are kind of some slower developing routes. So we are very mindful of that. I could have hit T here. Not much doing. Maybe I had a window for Chase. We are just going to hit T Higgins late. Boom. Still 19 for 19 with Joe Burrow. Obviously, we could play it safe here and go with like back to the RPO alert screen. Keep our thing perfect, but we are at the 2-minute warning. So I'm just going to go for the touchdown. Now, I didn't really lab much out of the red zone, so this is kind of all on the fly, looking for maybe RB here, which I had him. We had the running back open as well. He actually gets pressure. If you saw, it was that weird little nickel 3-3 double blitz or double buzz. The linebacker actually came through unblocked there. Now, I didn't do any protections. I didn't slide anywhere. I didn't ID anybody. I didn't obviously have the running back blocked, but that is how we get our first incompletion, but better than a sack. So we're going to go spacing here. I'm looking, this is just one of your better bets to go with against gun bunch or for gun bunch. You maybe have mix in there, but boom, RB, tough catch. But again, 32 does not have a knockout, so we will just punch that in fairly easily there. And that is, again, 5th possession and our 5th touchdown. So just very solid offense from the boys. I'm going to go for 2 just to be like that guy because he went for 2 and it kind of pissed me off. So we'll just go halfback dive and we'll just punch that in fairly easily with our boy Mixon just to be that guy. So overall, just dominant possessions on offense. Again, he didn't really come very close to getting many stops. Really, he didn't have many 3rd or 4th downs, just that 1 4th down, which is 4th and 1. And we hit Jonnu Smith on an easy out route. So you can see this offense just very good. I know we're not playing the best competition, but if you guys watch any competitive Madden or players, you guys pretty much realize just how good this formation is and how it can be. And again, we didn't even run any shot plays or things of that nature, which no hot route master. You can get a lot more creative than kind of what we did there. So here he's in this under center. I don't know. I would have just rather him quit, but you know, I don't know. I have some respect for people that don't quit, but sometimes you just want people to quit. He's going to pass under center, and the same thing's going to happen every single time that he has passed under center. He's going to get sacked, so he gets sacked. And I think Eckler was blocking on that play as well. It just doesn't matter. You see Eckler, he blocks the free rusher, but we get the disengages. And that's the beauty of the blitz, because you'll block those outside guys if you do block an extra guy, but guess what? The disengage is going to hit. And right there, not my greatest user, but hey, at least prevented the catch. Honestly, what's happening a lot with my user recently is people will just throw at me because I just get in this kind of mindset where I'm like so expecting them not to throw it at me that I don't actually like. I'm never in good position to actually play the ball. He does throw it at me here. We thought we were taking that to the crib. QJ makes the tackle, but yeah, if it doesn't work once, let's go back to it. Let's throw it as user again. And this time I'm actually ready to pick it off because of what just happened. So here, this would be a look that I would maybe not throw the screen against. You see he actually has a pressed up slot DB. Maybe have B open there. I try and go high ball. Oh, just drops the ball. That's a good play by the corner. I thought T could have caught that. Maybe if that's Chase in that corner, we get a better animation. Because I think Chase has the X factor, whereas T does not. I thought T did have a superstar maybe at the beginning of the year. Not anymore, though. He hasn't been great. Dude's on my fantasy team. I would definitely know. We're going to go verticals here. Just a little man-type beater setup. We have A open. We have B open. Both of them open. Dealer's choice. We're going to hit Jonnu. So, overall, 2 incompletions to 6 touchdowns. Again, that was cover 3. Both guys wide open. You know, take your guess. Take your pick. And again, this is really just a strictly passing offensive game. But you mix in the run a lot more than I did and make this a lot tougher to defend. And again, this was without even audibling to any of those other formations. So you guys could kind of see how this just playbook overall could get a lot more deadly. Make sure you guys check out that ebook that I did. Maybe hopefully I'll remember and I'll leave it in the description below or the comment section. There's a full 40-minute video going over everything in this playbook. Obviously, kind of besides this formation, but we talked about this formation for 34 minutes, so I think you guys got a good idea behind that. Also, with that Jets playbook, or ebook rather, there is a written version that is posted in the description and comment section of that video. It is available for purchase. It's like $5. It gives you every single written version of every play that I talk about, of every setup in that video. So here, this is really toxic and annoying. Dude's calling timeouts, down by 28 points. Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? This is, I'm fine with him staying in the game and all, but, calling timeouts down by 4 touchdowns, that's where I get a little bit annoyed. We play the screen well. He's going to, I think, burn another timeout, or here he actually doesn't. But, I mean, it's dude, come on now. There's no way we're calling timeouts here. It's not Mutt. You're not getting any XP from this. He has Keen wide open here. He chucks it up. And that is linebackers without lurker or lurk reader in Madden 24 for you. Because I was right there. And he just didn't even get the hands up. Trust me, I was holding Y. He just didn't animate because obviously Jermaine Pratt is a little bit unathletic. He does burn a timeout, of course. Boom. The blocks really hold up on this play, and he does hit Eckler for the tud. So nice little touchdown by him. The game is basically over. Of course, there's 1 second. God forbid there was just 0 seconds. We have to watch his stupid celebration, but yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on this offense, how it stacks up. Obviously, bunch. Traditional bunch is always going to be king, but this is a really good formation to mix in. That RPO, very, very good. You can run that every single time down the road. As long as there's no slot corner, even with the slot corner, you can still run it. It just won't be those big plays that we kind of got, those bigger chunk plays. But again, watch out for the user because depending on the formation they're in, they could be over there. They could click onto the slot corner, try and jump it. Because those blockers are kind of in a weird, untraditional spot, it can get a little bit odd. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on this, what formations you want to see next. I have a few more offensive gameplays coming within these next few days. And yeah, overall, that is going to do it for the game. Pretty damn good game from Joe Burrow. Again, I think 2 incompletions, 5 passing touchdowns. Then we had the rushing touchdown with Browning on the QB sneak. So GG's to the opponent. At least he stayed in. That's going to be a video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel down below. And peace. I'm out of here.